I want to do it too. Like they're listening going, I'm having too much every day. I can notice some of those things, but I'm just stuck. And it's hard because we know that addiction's that way. We know that this is heavy. It's not easy. But if someone is watching going, Tom, tell me, like, what did you do to even get started? How did you have that courage to say, I'm going to do January, I'm going to stick at it? Were there any moments where you actually fell back and then had to get back on the horse again? Like, just walk us through that a little bit more for anyone who is watching going, Tom, mate, I want to be in your position in like 6 months.
I didn't fall back on it. I have done in the past. Like I've had periods of my life where I'd given up drinking and then gone back to drinking. But this time, I don't know, it was just different. I really worked to sort of change my mindset. I really asked myself, like, why do you drink? Why are you drinking? And a lot of the time, my answer would be to feel more comfortable in the social environment.
Yeah.
And I just put myself in those environments and just would force myself to be there. I'd force myself to hang out and go to a club or go to a bar, go to a dinner.
Yeah,
and
so you weren't avoiding those places.
I was at the beginning because I didn't feel like I could go and not have a drink because of the stress of it. But then after a while, I sort of was like, mate, you got to pull your socks up here and you can't just live in your house all the time. You've got to go out and enjoy yourself. And if you're only enjoying yourself because you're drinking, then you really do have a problem. But I just changed my mindset. I found really good replacements, things that I could sort of attribute to having a beer. I often found with me, most of it is just the ritual of cracking something open and sharing it with friends and drinking it. Whether it's sparkling water or a beer, I don't associate, like, I don't see a difference.
Yeah.
But I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
I had a great support system. Jack is one of my best mates and we travel all over the world. He doesn't drink, and doing it with him was a really helpful experience for me. My brother is always on the road with me. He was very supportive. And yeah, I just really set my mind to it. I was like, I really want to do this. I want to prove to myself I can do it.
Yeah.
And then once I'd felt the health benefits and started really feeling like my full self, I was like, oh my God, this is the best. But do you not drink?
I haven't drank for 17 years.
No way.
Yeah,
congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel amazing. Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow.
It's like one of the best feelings in the world. And it's my biggest like worry when I was about to quit was like, how am I going to hang out with my mates?
That was my biggest worry.
I was like, my mates knew me as the guy who was like first to the game, last to get out. Like,
that was me, bro.
You know, the clown when I got drunk, like life of the party, kind of like that kind of guy. And then all of a sudden I decided I wasn't going to drink anymore. I was like, crap, how am I going to fit in? And then I remember I went into the corporate world for a bit and I didn't drink. And I was like, God, am I going to miss out on like opportunities and networking? Like, you know, all the guys afterwards are like going to get drinks. And I'm like, I'll come, but I'll have a water or I'll have a soda, whatever it is.
Sure.
And what was really interesting for me is not relying on drinking made me rely on qualities and skills I had that were actually better.
Yeah.
So now that I couldn't drink as an excuse to hang with the lads, I was bringing out parts of my personality that I probably would have just hidden away or ignored. Yeah, suppressed. And all of a sudden you were actually getting respected and liked for who you were rather than the person who you were when you were drunk.
Sure.
And actually that worked in the workplace, and there was no one at the workplace going, oh, Jay doesn't drink, so he's not getting promoted.
Right.
It wasn't like that. People were like, oh yeah, I really like hanging out with Jay, or he's a really good guy, or whatever it may be. And I was still getting the same opportunities and I was still getting promoted at work and whatever it was. And I think that's why I'd like to remind people that don't feel like your career or your work is going to suffer. Even for you, like I'm sure as a, you know, with your career path, you have to be at parties, you have to be at events.
Of course.
And the fact that you're able to do that now without having alcohol, and it doesn't sound like it's negatively impacting your career. If anything, it's the opposite.
Mate, I honestly cannot believe like the amount of times I've sat down with an actor that I've really admired, or sat down with a producer or a director and been like, oh, you know, well, I don't drink anymore. And they go, oh, I don't drink, 10 years. And you're like, oh my God. And I've had so many insightful conversations with people like yourself where you've heard their story, their reason for giving up. And there is a wonderful community of people. And I love it. I love being a part of that community. I'm really proud to be a part of it. I hope that, you know, I can meet other people and chat to them about it, because it's really nice. It's lovely to be like, let's go get a lime soda together, you know?
Yeah, let's get a juice. Let's get a smoothie. Yeah, no, it is true. It's true. And it's really interesting because I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. There was this blog that came out years ago. I can't even remember it now. And there was this girl on Instagram who was getting a lot of likes and a lot of comments and a lot of attention. And one day she just disappeared. Like, she stopped posting. And everyone's just like, all the comments were like, where are you? What happened? Are you okay? Like, what happened to you? You know, everyone was frantic trying to figure out what happened to her because they loved her. They were following her and all the rest of it. And what they didn't know is that it was built by a team that was trying to show that what people didn't notice is that in every picture she posted, she was drinking. And it was it was almost like original AI that was made up to prove the point that you can love someone and you can think you're really close to them and you could think their lifestyle looks amazing, but actually they've got a drink in every picture they post and you didn't realize they had an alcohol problem. So there was no real person who died. But the point was that your friends could be struggling even when they're posting these beautiful lifestyle pictures. But are you aware?
Wow.
And are you conscious of how much it affects you? And I can't remember who built that page.
Well,